How has the COVID-19 pandemic affected organ donation?
In 2020, registration was down 39% because of COVID. And that's a major number when you're actually talking about, we have about 4,500 Canadians that are on the wait list right now. So yeah, COVID had a major impact. And I think that's just because people during COVID were trying to understand COVID. We're trying to understand what their life was going to look like. And it just wasn't the forefront anymore. But yet we had just the same amount of people needing organ transplantation. And so registration is one of our key indicators, and being down 39% is a major hit to organ and tissue donation.
What does the registration process look like and entail?
It's very, very simple. I mean, you can do it. There is a little bit of a dilemma that we're faced with in our country, in Canada. Every province is different. There is no national registry yet, but one may be coming. But so every province is different. How you register in every province. It could be through your driver's license. It could be through your health card. It could be through, in British Columbia, it's BC Transplant. Ontario, it's a Trillium Gift of Life. There's a whole pile of different ways. But the easiest way is you can go to davidfosterfoundation.com. You can click on Become a Registered Donor. And then we have a map of the entire country, where you live, click on it. It takes literally under 2 minutes to register, and then you're done.
Aside from organ donation, what are the different ways people can support and give back?
April's being Organ Donor Awareness Month. So we've got so many initiatives that are coming out there. So it's, get involved, get engaged, use your voice. Right now we're saying hashtag get vocal, share the importance and the need of it. You may be a recipient, you may be somebody who's actually registered, or you may know somebody. And so share stories, have conversation.
What's one thing you wish people knew about organ donation or the foundation?
If they registered, they could make such a difference. They could leave a life legacy, because, one life can save the life of up to 8 people and affect or improve the life of 80 people. So if you think about that, just that alone. So when you die, that you're leaving a life legacy. And I've been in this space for nearly 30 years. And when you talk to a family that has received an organ from somebody they never knew, and in their darkest hours, that somebody gave them that light and that life, it's incredible. It's a life legacy. It's such an unselfish act, but it's amazing. So that would be the first one is, make the difference, leave the life legacy. And then the other one about our foundation, the David Foster Foundation was originally started just because David answered a call from his mother. And that call was to go see a little girl from UCLA Medical Center who was from his hometown. And his mother asked him if he would just go see this little girl, not as a celebrity, but as just a hometown boy. So you always do what your mother tells you to do. And so he did it. And, he started asking, and he went to UCLA Medical Center and started talking with the family and seeing the stresses that they were under. And he said, as he was about to leave, he said, is there anything that I could do for you before I leave? And he thought the little girl would say, I want to go to Disneyland. I want to see this celebrity or something. But that wasn't the case. The little girl just stopped and she looked him straight in the eyes. And she said, I just want to see my sister. David was really perplexed by that. And he was trying to understand. He said, well, what do you mean? Well, their family didn't have enough money. This is back in the 80s, didn't have enough money for a plane ticket, which was maybe $150. So they couldn't bring their daughter down. So David says, I'm going to make that happen. And that's actually how the David Foster Foundation started. David paid for the little girl's sister to come down and aunt. And he said he picked them up at the airport and then he drove them to the hospital. And he said, when those 2 little girls' eyes met, he said, that changed his life forever. And he said, this is going to be our foundation.
What does the David Foster Foundation have in store for Organ Donation Month?
Well, it's always fun. Every year you try to come up with new ideas and new things. We always like to share wonderful stories. And so we'll be sharing some just amazing stories. And for those that want to see some of these absolute I wouldn't say heart-wrenching, but they are a little bit, but they're heart-moving stories, stories of survivors, stories of just our real heroes. They could go to davidfosterfoundation.com and see them. But we'll be showcasing some of those We'll also be doing some social media takeovers, some Instagram takeovers. And of course, we'll always be sharing the message. There's a lot of things going on in April. Just want to be able to be supportive of the message and get more people to know the importance of becoming a registered organ donor.